You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Simply. I'm being see, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yeah. He sure did.
Hijacking.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
What up, everybody? This is the People's Babushka, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
What's up, everybody? It is the hottest flame, the realest Hogan, the bionic baddie, Kiera Hogan, period, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim,
You're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the weekly moderated insanity known as the Shenanigans here across the Simply Reliable Studios brand of channels. It is I, your moderator extraordinaire, the renegade of wrestling, JJ Williams, back in the host seat, joined by the Island of Misfit Toys, the simple man Noah Foster.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again to the Simply Reliable Studios. You know what this is? Brand of cements and brands of voice that's for a favorite fall-faced professional wrestling. Damn it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the panel. First and foremost, my partner in Love the Bed in AEW. We call the rest of the light and probably upset stomach mindset for some other stuff tonight. It is, of course, Mr. Reliable, Simply Reliable in true original form, Walter Cruz.
Ronda won in literally 17 fucking seconds. She tackled Gina. Gina fought a little bit. She turned to the side, got that armbar, and she tapped. Literally 17 seconds in the first round.
Well, at least I know I can last longer than Gina Carano. We've got one half of the Canadian connection and a man who just got done doing some hockey coverage with the Stat Boy. Nick is here. What is up, sir?
Why were you guys talking about boobies for 45 minutes?
Theme of the week, today's.
She's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash. That's actually elegant and not fake. Hello, Ash, how are you?
Enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking AEW wrestlers winning my motherfucking New Japan title.
Make sure you tune in every week because you never know who's going to drop in to join the Shenanigans. We do have the man who started it all. Jeff Meacham is with us.
I am impressed with what's going on at the JCW. I'm happy for Russo. I'm happy for Vito. I am a viewer, again, when I can get home and sit my ass down for a half hour, whatever it is, and enjoy that shit.
Popping out before midnight virtually on this app. It is my cohort as fellow gamer and crazy wrestling watching aficionado, Charles Schultz, will also be joining me tonight in the fray as I welcome you into the Shenanigans once again at the end of this fine Saturday.
I just want to keep seeing Mr. Guana show up every single time and just Polieska. I'm still agreeing with JJ. We still need that freaking multi-person puppet match.
A puppet is not a competitor!
Sex dolls are competitors if you go to the right company.
Teleporting in via the morphing grid, our very own Pink Ranger is here.
Hey,
everybody. You know, I know the firing of Scott Moore was controversial, but I feel like he needed to go in order for TNA to grow. Don't get me wrong, we had some good stuff under Scott Moore, but the company was just stagnant. And look how much they've grown.
If this is what it took for her to acknowledge some of my NXT talent, then I'm here for it. Because we know she doesn't work Tuesdays. So the fact that she watches Thursdays and is still getting exposed to my talent, like, hey, something happened, right? She told me the other night that Trick A was some of the best stuff in TNA.
Yeah, I actually really did like Trick A.
I was completely shocked and blown away to discover it was Chad Gable under that mask. I had no idea. I would have never guessed it. I never saw it coming. This was just mind-numbing. This was like the reveal that Juan Cena was John Cena. I never in a million years would have guessed that Chad Gable was going to have that.
Is Fleet ever going to lose that title?
Well, everyone can be a dickhead, but how strong a dickhead are you is the real question. I have a pretty strong dick.
I'll take your report.
Good night, everybody. Hopefully no one else heard that.
Cool.
Boy, if there ever was a cool down for there to not be anything going on in the conversation right now, it is this, but I digress. Here goes nothing. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to the weekly moderated conversation wrestling madness. That is the Saturday Shenanigans. Hello, everybody, and welcome back in here to the Superchatted Studios and to the weekly forum known as the Saturday Shenanigans. You know what this is. I'm the simple man, the simple brand, the voice, the rest of us, forever grateful for all things professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noah Foster. Thank you all for tuning in. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or PayPal the passions. It's truly as simple as that. But as you know, I am never alone, nor am I regularly the host, as I co-moderate and take over the duties sometimes for my friends, of course, that take care of other priorities or right now taking care of the mentality or have other things going on besides what's been subtly known as a passion. Good to see, of course, Dave Scheffler in the chat, as well as Safet. And again, thank you, everybody that's tuning in. Without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome in tonight's clown posse, shall we? First and foremost, since we got a show coming us tomorrow from Canada, we have to have at least one Canadian on this strawway. So welcome in the master and the king of all foods and the missus that has her own master craft and something different that I'm not going to mention since we're not at the 10-minute mark. Of course, it is Mr. Frontes, Nick. Nick, good to hear you. How are you feeling this fine Saturday evening?
Hey, buddy. What's going on, everybody?
Not a whole lot, honestly. I mean, we're removed from football, and now it's pretty much a cool-down season for everything at this point. You might as well just comatose.
True. Yeah, I know. Sports is now practically over. So, I mean, now this is the time of the year, for me at least, because there's no sports. It's kind of boring. And, I mean, my Blue Jays aren't doing great, so, I mean, fuck those guys. But other than that,
demonetized, but nonetheless.
Yeah. Is it just me and you right now?
No, we have one more person, it looks like, at least on Avatar as well. So it might be the Avatar panel. Maybe I should just go on Avatar mode. Nah, I won't do that. Because people be like, what are we doing? Are we listening to a podcast or watching a video? Why are you watching video besides looking at people act crazy on camera or pull some sort of shenanigans? Speaking of shenanigans, the maestro of the shenanigans, the regular host, if you will, the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams is here, proud alumni of Chase University. JJ, speak now, forever hold your peace. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm good.
All right, good deal.
Wow. How did I get introduced before fucking JJ? That's crazy talk.
Because I'm the host, and once in a while, even I break away tradition, much like Zack Sabre Jr. in New Japan Pro Wrestling, when I look at G1 Climax being the only thing of worthwhile investment right now, this end of summer season. That being said, we got his opening monologue, so there you go. Well, I guess without further ado, that is the panel for now. Stay tuned, folks. You might get more Canadians, you might get more panelists, you might get more fools on camera, but also you guys might empower. This is the real definition of people power. Oh, excuse me. People power. I am not John Laurinaitis. But I do believe that power should go to the people the right way and not the politically incorrect way, much like Canada and America. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So really, there isn't much to talk about as it's been a slow week, but we do have 2 back-to-back weekends of upcoming content for the 2 biggest companies on the planet, and what might as well be their cooldown. Why one might lead to something bigger, the other one leads to something of merit, maybe. We, of course, know that tomorrow has AEW Redemption, while the following weekend has WWE SummerSlam. So, straight up, I feel we'll just start the conversation with, does either show really matter at this point? How they really put what they could into them in the time allotted? Could they have done more? And which one are you hoping to see have more come out of it? And what can it lead to? So, the outlook, we're right now basically going to preview and look into AEW Redemption and WWE SummerSlam. The biggest stories, the most underwhelming stories, our biggest expectations, our lowest expectations, and the mid and in between. It's a freelance conversation about the biggest upcoming shows this 2 weekends for WWE and AEW to kick things off, because why the heck not? That being said, Nick, what have you been up to lately this week? Have you followed anything at all regarding the 2 biggest companies domestically, AEW and WWE? And do you have any outlook towards Redemption or SummerSlam? We'll start with AEW.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. Coming out of Forbidden Door, it's been okay. I haven't really, honestly, there's nothing really, for me at least, nothing really interesting happening. I'm kind of just
coasting.
Yeah, like there is nothing on the last few weeks coming out of Forbidden Door that has really resonated, I guess. We've gotten great matches, but I mean the week-to-week product, they're continuing storylines, which is nice. Like the shows have been good. What I will say, and y'all can clip this because you can be like, holy shit. I do feel that the fans in Montreal are getting hosed. This is not on paper. What they have put into it, I don't feel that Montreal is getting they're getting the short end of the stick. Nothing really is resonating on that card. It's all very predictable. Sometimes that's a good thing, but when you have a debut pay-per-view, unless we're gonna have great returns and debuts, I can miss Redemption and I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, as I always say, predictability isn't a bad thing, but you also only get one chance to leave a good first impression. But this is Canada, a bizarre world. You guys will basically take anything. And nonetheless, you still got Edge and Cope, expectations on the AEW Women's World Championship match, and Kenny Omega in the main event defend the AEW World Championship. And there might be further developments with him and Ospreay as we head towards All In. But again, hindsight's 2020, and we'll see what happens. Plus, they got their traditional Judas sing along. So at the end of the day, they get their money's worth just from that, probably. It's always an outlook of the home audience versus the live audience. And regardless, you guys up in Canada always bring the noise, and we'll probably have a good time. But thank you for that, Nick. Well, that being said, JJ, good to see you from the Morphin Grid. So how are you feeling about AEW right now and Redemption and the activities to come to tomorrow night and what has been coming up to tomorrow night?
Well, good to be seen.
There it is.
Go ahead and get that, stickler out there because I know you love it.
Gotta keep up your stick, man.
Before I get into my diatribe, I do have a question to the Canadian beneath me.
I love Joe Hendry.
Was that actually a picture of your wife that she posted to her Instagram story?
I gotta go back. What the fuck are you talking about? On her Instagram?
That's random.
Yes, yeah, it's Ceiling.book, the one that you never remember to shill. Is that actually a picture of her?
Probably. more than likely.
Well, because you got to remember, like, we've never really seen her. Like, we see her walking by, so I'm just curious. Is that actually a picture of her?
To Alice later.
The missus. She
That is her?
That is the missus.
All
There you
right.
go.
Nick, you did a hell of a good job. She is an attractive young woman, good sir. Congratulations.
She's she's the greatest. She's the best. She's good. She's a good woman. She good woman.
Well, behind
But,
every man is a better woman, but this isn't
That is
Chuck
true.
Woolery's love
That is
connection. So thanks for throwing this into a version of back.
I just, like I said, we never get to see her, so I just wanted to make sure that was actually her, and if it was, I wanted to give her props. She's an attractive young woman. Way to go, Nick. But
she is a good woman.
getting back to Noah's question, we discussed this a little bit a couple nights ago on Simply Predicting, and to Nick's point, this is Grand Slam Montreal.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like a pay-per-view. We talked about it, how so many of these matches could be either Dynamite or Collision matches.
Mm-hmm.
There is one match on this show that I actually give a damn about. And I only give a damn if it goes one way. If it goes the other way, I'm pissed. And I care not.
That's just a fickle fan.
No, it's just because of my investment in one of the two competitors.
That's
And
still a
that's
fickleness in its
Thekla
own nature.
and Willow.
That's still a fickleness in its own nature, JJ.
I disagree, but teach their own opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll see
That's
what happens soon enough.
That's the only match I'm invested in. That's the only match
Yeah.
I care about. I could care less about the main event, Kenny versus Kevin, because we know who's winning. I could care less about the tag title match because we know who's winning.
Mm-hmm.
I could care less about this show.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I am curious about what's going to come out of this show as we start to build towards and fill in more of All In.
Yeah.
That does intrigue me. So much so that we've already made it official that this coming Wednesday, we will be doing a watch along of the Fallout Dynamite from Detroit, Michigan, because we all suspect that there will be a debut on that show.
Keep your expectations at a mid if you know what's good for you, especially as somebody right here in the Midwest from Ohio. Just saying.
Which, speaking of, I met a couple of people today, and it was a son who's going to be doing stuff in the military. He's on his way to Dayton. And I was like, oh, whereabouts in Ohio are you going to be? And they told me Dayton. I was like, I got a friend who lives in Toledo.
Yeah.
So, had a little bit of a moment there. But
so
you had your turn, Nick. Come on camera, raise your hand. Be a good little boy.
No, my throat. That was my throat.
All right, very good.
But,
Otherwise, I would have chastised you. Continue.
I miss when AEW only had like 4 to 6 shows a year. And to that degree, and I know we'll get into WWE in a minute, I wish WWE would scale their shows back. We don't need shows every month.
Nope.
And if we're going to do shows every month for either company, let's alternate and have 1 month be a main roster show and the next month be NXT or ROH or even AAA. But just let's alternate the content. I'm down with 12 shows a year, but right now we're getting like 9 to 10 AEW pay-per-views and 3 Ring of Honor shows. Like, let's cut that back. Let's do 6 and 4 or 6 and 6.
If only. But with money, it is what it is, especially when it comes to what a network expects. All right, well, thank you for that, JJ. And yeah, I basically feel about the same way. Again, there's also a lot of other things on my mind too. And when you have more priorities weighing your mind versus your passions, it does kind of take you out of the mindset. It's at this point right now, we're at a sinkhole of the summer where you kind of don't give two blips what's really going on in this business. But there is some stuff that is worthwhile that I am looking forward to tomorrow. I hope that does lead to some interesting developments, whether it's Don Callis' family further conflict, Osprey and Omega maybe turn the page on this mutual respect, Willow Nightingale, Thekla, shaving the end of a women's division, and then everything else, fun in between. But it's also one of those things right now that regardless, the noise, the energy, the competition will be there. So at least I know I am going to get my money's worth and far less advertisements. As far as the other stuff, we'll talk about that in a moment. But it also goes down to, again, quantity and quality. And until we get something that sheds a similar formula of passion and unapologetic nature, unrelated to its main partners, you're not going to get something as good as an NXT TakeOver, this or any upcoming wrestling era from any company, period. That being said, Nick, I did see your hand. What you got to say real quick before we flip the channel to the Fed?
So it seems, if we're being honest, I think for this show at least, while it's not good, and I'm not expecting anything to really, like JJ said, we're expecting the follow. We're expecting to see what happens after. It seems like every time, and maybe he'll fix this down the road, it seems like whenever Tony introduces a new pay-per-view, it's always like this. Like I don't remember him when Wrestle Dream, when he announced Wrestle Dream, I think it was the same thing that people were just like, what the fuck? Right? So I think when he introduces pay-per-views, it's always gonna be like this.
Initial impression.
Yeah, but even so, that initial impression you should do. Like I'm expecting, even though the build wasn't there to it, I'm expecting big things to happen on that show. So if there's not any big things that happen, whether it be a big debut or two, or a return, this show is gonna fall flat regardless. So I'm not gonna scrutinize it so heavy this year. I think next year, when it's here, I hope that Tony plans better because he knows that he has a pay-per-view, right? That's still not an excuse. People are paying $50 for it. You should be on your toes with this show. So yeah, it seems to me he does that a lot when it comes to new shows. Whether it be something of like this. And again, who knows? We have to keep in mind, I don't care what anybody says. The main event of this show should have and would have been MJF versus Kenny. But they opted to do it at Beach Break or Spring Break. So
Beach Break. You're right. You're right the first time.
Yeah, so there must have been an injury. MJF must have been hurt because I can't see. Like I'm pretty sure that there's been injuries happening that we don't know about. Like there has to be some underlying things that have happened that we don't know about.
How you'll know?
Because how you know?
How you'll know?
To make this show not there. So again, we'll find out what happens tomorrow. Again, I do feel bad for the people in Montreal because I do think they're getting hosed a little bit.
Well, as long as they're invested, entertaining, get their money's worth in the live audience, you don't see people chanting anything against AEW like boring or just sitting there on their phones or looking up at the lights. Though there's a couple matches that they might do that based on Carter as well. It seems that every time we do like an AEW pay-per-view, though, that crowd is invested all the way for the end. So we'll see what happens, even with the cool-down match. And again, it's just one of those things right now. You have to literally subvert your expectations and just enjoy it, or you just look at something else. There's a reason I took a 2-hour walk during Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. I have no regrets. As far as calling this tomorrow, casual way to close a Sunday before I head up to sleep to work in IT on Monday, now that I'm salaried. That's going to be a whole new mindset to get used to. But nonetheless, it's all about expectations on your quantity and quality of belief and disbelief. And with AEW, quality is always at a high average of good when it comes to me watching. Can't say the same thing for the other place, though. 10 times over when it's the same damn repetition at the very top. Acknowledge that. But that being said, thank you, Nick. Thank you, JJ. All right, let's flip the channel now to the Fed. As, of course, we got SummerSlam, also known as Summer Season WrestleMania, because SummerSlam now is 2 nights. We still don't know the card order. We know that we have literally the same people at the very top, and internal company, cave or not, they're sick of it according to what I've read. One of the most interesting matches, though, that seems like an exhibition that has my most investment is definitely Gunther versus Nick Aldis, because Magnus, a.k.a. the former NWA World Champion, a.k.a. the former TNA World Champion, Nick Aldis in the ring with Gunther, 2 men as traditional as wrestling goes back to. Yes, please. And then there's everything else. We know, of course, that we now have a number one. Oh, excuse me. Spoiler alert for those who didn't watch SmackDown in 3, 2, 1. Finn Balor won a fatal 4-way to face Sami Zayn at SummerSlam, and one of those 2 men will be the new number 1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship, regardless of result, between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. So there's that right there. Timu Baddie Squad brought to you by Wingstop, along with that dud. Apparently it took Charlotte Flair, and while Charlotte Flair did qualify for the ladder match, Nia Jax got screwed again. So I don't know if Jade's character is actually working in her favor right now, because she just helped Charlotte to a win and primarily on Nia, but then again, who cares about either of those? As far as other stuff, honestly, this show, it's like a top 4 when you look at the biggest matches here. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Cody Rhodes challenging CM Punk for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Roman Reigns defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. And Obafemi, who apparently I did learn and I did read, he did sacrifice the championship opportunity. He no longer has one. Obafemi will take on Brock Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell to conclude their trilogy. And then there's everything else, including crowning an interim WWE Women's Undisputed Championship in a ladder match. The only one that matters, that one right now, is Chelsea Green. That being said, have either of you kept up with any news updates, match updates, or any subvertive expectations for WrestleMania Summer? I mean SummerSlam. Of course, SummerSlam being 2 nights, maybe I might as well call it that. Will it be better than WrestleMania overall? Will it be just as mid as Night 1 and Night 2 was the pick-me-up? Or will it be more of the same last year, where last year both Night 1 and Night 2 were kind of okay overall, both nights considering? Let's go around the horn and see what you all think about this. And Dave doesn't need a super chat about this unless he wants to. But hey, Dave, thank you, Bob, for your super chat earlier. Appreciate you being part of the conversation. And let your thoughts be known also in the chat as well. And again, if you want to dictate the conversation further, super chat or PayPal Passions, it's as simple as that. Yeah, Dave, what are your thoughts on SummerSlam WrestleMania? SummerSlam this year regarding what right now is booked and the fact we don't really have a match card for either night at this point. Is one night has the potential to be better than the other? Will they both be mid? Do you care about Roman and Seth and Cody and Punk, despite the fact we got 2 heels, 2 faces, dynamics in those matchups? Do you care about Brock Lesnar but Femi? Do you care about Chelsea Green becoming interim WWE Women's Undisputed Champion? Do you care about anything? Go ahead and speak.
I care about this show more than I care about Redemption.
Well, that's not a high bar.
You know,
Considering
at least this doesn't look like a TV special.
You sure about that?
I'm 100% sure about it.
Let's see how the cards are matched out. Continue.
You know, I mean,
because one might be a Monday Night Raw.
It's just, there's more here that looks intriguing to me in the long term. You know, and you know me, I'm a stickler for long-term storytelling. I'm a stickler for where things are going to go, you know, a month, 3 months, 6 months from now.
Yeah, you're a Paul Heyman. I get it.
And there looks like there will be more positive to come out of this than negative.
That's optimistic.
It is, but I'm an optimistic person most of the time.
Never hurts to be that. It's better than being controversial.
And it's okay to be controversial, but you got to stand behind your takes. And like, I stand behind my stuff.
That's called being real, unlike Unreal, which is a subvert reality. Continue.
I forgot where I was going because you threw that in there.
Basically talking about your authenticity and your opinion, standing by your optimistic wherefore and the long-term developments that could come out of Summer WrestleMania. Continue, good sir.
SummerSlam, right?
Whatever.
Well, let's keep the show what it is.
I could go on a rant, but I'm not going to because I'm getting real sick and damn tired of the 2-night trope. But continue.
Honestly, so am I. I don't think the 2-night trope is needed either, but I'd rather have 2 nights as opposed to 15 matches in 1 night. So that just kind of is what it is. I'd rather be scattered out over 2 nights. But yeah, it's Cody and Punk is going to be an all-time classic. Seth and Roman, if it's the final chapter like it looks like it's going to be, is going to be a hell of an ending chapter. Brock and Oba, I really do think this is going to be Brock's finale in Minnesota. The dumbest thing they did was take away Oba's title shot, making King of the Ring irrelevant. But you've got too many masters you've got to serve at this level. And that's the biggest problem. And that's what the fans, the IWC, don't want to recognize. Is that it's not just serving one man or one higher up. When your hand's in so many cookie jars like WWE's is, that means there's a bunch of different bosses you got to answer to. And trying to book just becomes difficult. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be here for it, whether I get to watch it or I'm just in studio producing. It's going to be a good time.
All right, Nick. Ball's in your court, bruv. Go ahead and lend your thoughts towards SummerSlam. What's your outlook on this annual 2-night extravaganza coming up next weekend?
Well, I always like to preface this by saying WWE is not my thing, my cup of tea. So I don't want people to think that I'm just ripping on it for the sake of ripping on it. However, the show, again, it's the same thing that I say about AEW. The week-to-week product is fucking abysmal. SmackDown is a waste of time. And Monday Night Raw is not any better. It's the same thing again. The weekly product in 2026 for both companies is not up to the standard that it should be. Both companies need a lot of improvement. I just think, on WWE's part, and this might be, call it what you will, I look at WWE further, or I give them more shit because it's, to JJ's point, it's not one man. It's an entire team. You know what I mean? In this instance, it's an entire team, like we see from Unreal in that shit. It's an entire team behind the creative process.
So you have so many minds working there, and the product is not up to snuff. That's no excuse. It's no excuse for either companies. Both products should give us week to week television that we can invest our time in and enjoy. Um, and judging from the reaction from some WWE fans out there, and some people who kind of consume it on a daily basis, the product is not where it needs to be. I just think that's for both both companies in 2026. So as far as SummerSlam goes, yeah, okay, great. They're doing Punk and Cody. All right. The Oba Femi thing is absolutely ridiculous. You shat on it. You pretty much took a dump on the King of the Ring. The King of the Ring tournament means absolutely nothing at this point. Baron Corbin getting a title shot for absolutely no reason.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was booked officially too. He's taking on Trick Williams for the United States Championship.
Yeah, he just came back. Like, you're already putting it. So, I mean, if Baron Corbin doesn't win, it's a fucking waste of time, right? And then you have the Danhausen Dom match. It's just that company, I think, is appeasing to a different demographic, and that's not something, at least for me, anyways. It's not. I'm not interested in anything that they're doing. Again, both companies could be better in 2026. We had if you check out our interview back on Thursday where we talked to Jeffrey John. He's a guy who watches the weekly product, right? And we kind of, he said in so many words, that the WWE product again isn't where it needs to be. Paraphrasing. But yeah, SummerSlam sucks. I hope coming out of SummerSlam, the TV gets better. But if you're gonna ask, if you're asking me, am I gonna watch it? No, it's not something that I'm gonna willingly want to watch. But hopefully they have a good show, and hopefully coming out of that show, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, they do something on there that's a little bit more interesting. Yeah. Justice for Sammy, though. I could say that.
The last real good guy in pro wrestling, right? Though, justice for Sammy. Well, I mean, he get a chance. All he's got to do is beat Finn Balor at SummerSlam, the same stage that Finn Balor won his only ever undisputed Universal WWE Championship, known as the Universal Championship at the time it was first introduced, all the way back in 2016 before his shoulder was popped out, and he popped it back in and still beat Seth Rollins.
And this is some of the decisions that kind of make you scratch your head. Like, that is on par with the Oba Femi thing. It's like Sami Zayn got fucked. You take everything that happened to that guy in the past month since he was launched. Like, why does he? If I'm him, and this is again decisions that don't make sense. And I mean, they're a bigger creative team. They should be figuring this out. Like, why does Sammy need to go through Finn when he's just been fucked every single turn? Like, it just, things there don't make sense. I don't get it. So,
yeah, the world's not meant to make sense, especially for pro wrestling. And both places are basically, I feel like, in cruise control these 2 weekends. But I do feel like one night, and booked correctly overall, could be the more, okay, this is kind of good. And apparently, looking at WWE's website, they got 12 matches booked. They just haven't figured out the cards yet. So whether or not one more is added, maybe the Women's Intercontinental Championship, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But apparently, Fed also agrees with you, saying that Sami Zayn got screwed. Again, though, just playing devil's advocate, he did say no matter what happens, I can now call myself, I was the undisputed WWE champion. He was, for a cup of coffee. And CM Punk took it in Chicago. And we'll see what happens following SummerSlam. As, of course, AEW goes to All-In season, and after SummerSlam, we go into Money in the Bank, I think, or what's in September? I don't remember. I don't think there's anything in September right now, unless it's Crown Jewel.
Who knows? Probably, I would say maybe Like, have they done a WrestlePalooza yet? Like, who knows?
Oh, that's right. That's what it is. I think you're right. I think it's WrestlePalooza, the kickoff of ESPN. That, ironically enough, will be ESPN's 1-year anniversary. But
I feel like
either
JJ
way,
wants to say something.
This is WrestlePalooza has not been announced yet.
No.
You know they are doing Triple Mania in September.
Mm-hmm.
So they may be focusing attention there. And I believe NXT has something in September as well. I think they announced something to go, Worlds Collide is going to be competing with All Out.
Yeah, that's in September, yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah. So YouTube
So
and
they
pay-per-view,
may or may not do anything in September because of those.
Again, main roster and NXT don't even work together anymore. I expect them to do something. I bet it's going to be WrestlePalooza because last year, September, I'm pretty sure that's when it happened. Hopefully, it's better than last year's. But
Yes,
nonetheless,
WrestlePalooza was in September last year.
I called it what I called it for a reason, and I stand by it till they prove me otherwise, JJ. 1 year later. Hey, that was a debut pay-per-view too, by the way. Just putting that out there. But anyway, again, subvert your expectations, follow what you choose, folks, and see what you enjoy and conversate with others what they enjoy and see if you all find a happy median and don't chastise people. Either way, these 2 weekends, they should have some fun coming out of them between tomorrow and next weekend. As far as SummerSlam, I basically named the 4 matches that seem like the most merit of matter, so I'm curious to see what happens in them. But to JJ's point, is this really Brock Lesnar's last match? ... To be continued. Black screen, small window. JJ only there in his own expectations of Brock Lesnar retiring. Stay tuned and find out in the next week of Saturday Shenanigans, as he did the Troy Yano. All right. Well, that being said, that basically covers the 2 big weekends that are coming up back to back with the 2 biggest shows and the 2 biggest companies at this point. So right now, I think we will take this opportunity to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to change the channel to talk a little bit more about radio takeover, because apparently WWE is dipping their toes in their IP in a whole nother form of content and another whole form of community and communication. Because when we return very soon, you will get to bear listen to WWE Radio. What could that mean, and will you change the channel? We'll go into that conversation and so much more as the Saturday Shenanigans continue.
Outdated trailer, everyone. Just, it is what it is.
Thank you for that little disclaimer.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And as always, here at the Super Reliable Studios, that trailer shows you here. We truly encompass, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all the wrestling. And welcome back in here once again to the Saturday Shenanigans. I am your host, impromptu for the evening, Noel Foster, with the Ranker Wrestling JJ Williams, and one Canadian. Apparently, Nick has his hand up to say something real quick before we dive into our next topic. Nick, what's on your mind?
So I just want to say, I know you said that trailer's outdated, but out of all that, you know what I say? Next week, you know what I'm more excited for next week? Out of everything that's going on next week?
And what would that be?
No Holds Barred 100. NHB 100. Shout out to the boys there at NHB. That card is, if you guys haven't seen it, sign up for ITV Wrestling. Check out No Holds Barred 100.
Okay.
Our boy Redacted is in that show. It's gonna be an absolute fucking banger, that card. Oh, I can't.
Okay. So I'm gonna bust your balls.
What?
I'm gonna clip this.
Yes.
So you're telling me that out of everything we have going on this coming week and next weekend, No Holds Barred 100 is what you're looking most forward to?
No.
That's what you said. No, is that what he said?
That's literally what he said.
No.
Okay, so you are not looking forward to the return of the conduit of karma.
Yes.
Kaya McKenna.
And the new Spark Pacific champion, might I add, beating Erica Demaya. Congratulations.
And the new Pro Wrestling Symphony
Women's Champion.
World Champion. No. I said the weekend. That interview is happening on Thursday. So that's not the weekend, technically speaking.
All right,
I'm
Mr.
talking
Loophole.
about Saturday and Sunday.
Nice
Saturday.
way to reel it back in there.
Very nice, very nice.
Listen.
I love the independent wrestling hype though, because that's truly where the business shines at its genesis. So mad respect.
I just want like, for the people that are watching, shout out to NHB, shout out to those boys there. Just let me, if you indulge me, just listen to this card. You got Eric Ryan versus JWM. You have Dr. Redacted versus the Dmitry Alexandrov for the American Deathmatch title. You have Mance Warner versus Reed Bentley for the IWTV World Championship. You have Schlack versus Slade. You have a four-way with Hoodfoot versus Lowlife Louie versus Kaplan versus Casanova Valentine. And then you have this match, and I'm looking forward to. She is an absolute devil in the ring. Lucky 13 versus Angel Metro. Like, dude, NHB 100 is looking stacked. So that is, out of all the shows next weekend, on Friday, Saturday, NHB, I can't wait to watch that show. That's going to be fucking sick.
All right.
Shout out to those guys over there. And then we have that too. That's August 8th. That's the weekend after.
And again, thank you so much, by the way, to Pro Wrestling Symphony in conjunction with other great professional wrestling promotions that are showcased in the town of now that could be the superstars of tomorrow, the next great wrestlers for the bigger companies of the future, including Kaya McKenna, who will be defending her Pro Wrestling Symphony Women's Championship at no remorse against Sigrid. And you will stay tuned for that and so much more, courtesy of Independent Wrestling TV. Subscribe today on WTV. That is Saturday, August 8th, 2026. Pro Wrestling 70, a proud partner here at the Super Reliable Studios. We're happy to support them. Yes, JJ,
You know what
do you
the
guys
best
say?
part is about these graphics going up and down like that?
It separates me and you.
No, it covers Nick.
Well, yeah.
You can't see me.
Well, now we can, John Cena.
Oh, there you go. But
yes,
if
folks.
you guys can though, if you guys are watching this live, clip it, send it to Mr. Danny D'Amato. Shout out to him. He's doing a great job with NHB. It's that card's looking really nice. So shout out to those guys. Can't wait to watch it.
Very nice, very evil.
All right, very good. There's no curse there, but karma is indeed Kaya McKenna. That being said, let's see if your ears will be cursed or blessed as WWE brings to you on Sirius XM WWE Radio. It was officially announced, and I do mean this, Lily JJ, officially announced on WWE.com, launching July 27th. Sirius XM and WWE have teamed up officially for WWE Radio. Apparently, this will allow us to hear live play-by-play audio coverage for all WWE's biggest PLEs, including, starting actually next weekend, SummerSlam. So if you don't,
And I think it's hilarious that this is our topic right now. Not to step on you, as the man who just entered the green room was the one that kind of broke this to the chat rooms and to me directly. So since he's probably only here for the hottest of hot seconds, let's bring him up and throw to him so he can talk about this topic.
all
Jeff
right.
motherfucking Meacham is in the house.
Jeff motherfucking Meacham's in the house.
Yeah,
Jeff, you're on the call.
Yeah, that's true. Like literally for about 20 minutes or so. But yes, I'm here. Hi.
Hi, Jeff. Good to hear you. How are you? It's great to have you.
It's good to be heard. It's good to be had, as JJ would say.
Jeff,
Yeah.
Before you continue,
Yes.
we need your face more often. I miss you.
Well, you can't have my face now, but next week you probably get sick of me. I'm gonna be on doing the watch along reactions with Greg both nights, and on Shenanigans and Meech's musings after SummerSlam Sunday. So you'll be sick of me before too long, Nick. I promise.
And people say I work the hardest. Jeff is always the hardest working man.
No, well, no. When it comes to the podcasting, no, you are the hardest of the hard workers. But JJ's seen my schedule between now and Saturday the 8th. I have a single day off from either where I'm at or with you guys. So, yeah, I'm a little busy for sure.
Oh, fair enough. Well, that being said, WWE is always busy.
WWE Radio is what we're discussing right now.
What a timely involvement for you. So that being said, Jeff, welcome to the Shenanigans as we restore back to regular scheduled programming. You were one of the ones apparently first on the scenes when this news broke out, and I just learned about this thanks to my ATW crew. Shout out to the KG King. So, Jeff, what's your outlook with WWE taking over radio with live play-by-play broadcasting?
So I had messaged Greg as well as JJ and Walter because what this signals to me is my interpretation when I saw the announcement on the NoDQ.com posting. Shout out to our friends NoDQ.com. I feel like this is them attempting, WWE pronouns, pal, attempting to crack down on the third-party coverage of their premium events, of their television shows, of their special events, all of the things. And everybody had a different reaction. Greg was kind of like, F it, bring it on. We'll do it till they shut us down. I was like, that's not what I was going for, but yeah, sure, why not? JJ and Walter were of the mindset of, yes, it could be looked at as, we're in trouble, because, which what I said is like, well, we're fucked because now we're going to have to like be dancing around that too. And JJ made a very valid point back to me. He said, yes, true. However, they being the audience may be more prone to tuning into the alternative commentary, the reaction videos that Greg and I are doing, the stuff outside of the WWE sponsored folks like Denise Salcedo, and I love Denise, much respect to her, but people that are currently on the WWE under the umbrella will not be affected by this. We could be, but JJ told me, or people will tune in even more to us because they don't want to listen to the quote unquote corporate shills. And that's a valid point too. I'm looking forward to seeing how next weekend goes. I purposely took the 2 days off from here where I'm at in my undisclosed location, because I wanted to be part of SummerSlam. SummerSlam was always going to be a hot show. It's always going to be one of the bigger events of the year, even with the current critique of WWE Creative. So I was curious to see how it laid out. We added about 42 matches last night on SmackDown alone. So I'm like, I'm here for the full card now. But at the same time, it's going to be a very interesting next few days and few weeks with this new announcement. I'm a little bummed as a fan of all the wrestling, damn it, but I'm not surprised that Busted Open Radio has basically become WWE Radio. They tried this many moons ago. I don't know how old our audience is, or a lot of even the panelists are, but back in 1993 when Jim Ross came to the WWF, part of it was they established Radio WWF. And there was alternative commentary on a radio station And also on a pay per listen basis. Like I think Gorilla and JR would call the shows like WrestleMania, King of the Ring, and the like. But 33 years ago, the radio technology was just that. It was radio. It was terrestrial. The way streams are now, the way podcasts are now, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner.
Right? Especially with how long Sirius has been around. I mean, it feels like you would figure they would have tapped into this media venture when they made their WWE logo nice, shiny, and brand new. I
Well,
thought this would be around the WWE Network days, honestly.
considering how many pay-per listens we had between ECW and WCW during the Monday Night Wars era, I am legit surprised we haven't had something like this come under the WWE corporate umbrella. I think it has a lot to do with the TKO takeover and a lot of the let's minimize any third-party attempts to capitalize on our revenue streams.
As JJ would say, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Jeff. Well, JJ, I mean, again, it's another market WWE's finally tapping into. It is another form to literally blast their product out there. And for all we know, people might want to listen to Booker T and Vic Joseph Gosling over SummerSlam versus Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. I think I'd rather listen to the latter just because I can stand Wade Barrett. That being said, what do you think about this new venture that WWE is bringing forward? How does it really affect you as a fan, but also, as you kind of are putting out here with Jeff, a content focus covering creator?
Well, like Jeff brought up when he was doing his little speech there, I'm really not affected by it right now. I'm not of the Greg Cherry mindset where I'm like, bring it on, we'll go to war with them. But like, I think the people it's going to affect more are the people that have more traffic to their streams. The people that constantly clip their reactions, use footage of the events for their reels. These are the people I think it's going to affect more. Your mini portables, your Wheezy Blondes, these type of people. We never do that. We show the graphic of the match that we're calling and talking about. We don't repurpose the footage into reels with the match footage at the same time.
Right.
If we do turn a funny moment spot into a clip, it's just us, what you're seeing on the screen right now.
And you're too short.
We don't incorporate the footage. So I personally think we're going to be fine. The Greg Cherries of the world are going to be fine. And Safet kind of making my point in the chat, and you brought the comment up, I brought it up, I'll bring it up again. He'd rather listen to us than WWE radio because we're not corporate shills. Anybody that's tuned in, the 15 whatever watching us right now, watched me and you go back and forth when it came to WWE in the last segment. The way you could really give less than two fucks about it, butchering the name of the events purposely because you probably wouldn't piss on the logo if it was on fire.
No.
Whereas I'm over here more passionate about this product than I am the company across the street. So the fact right there that you have that dichotomy is what's going to bring people to our coverage, because you've got the hard-edged, hard-nosed, tired of the stupid-ass bullshit, and you got the more optimistic, easily entertained, will call shit out when he finds it stupid, but usually can find a silver lining in just about anything. And we're not going to come off, whether it's me and you, whether it's you and Walter, whoever the pairing is, whether it's you and Jeff, aren't going to come off like, oh, well, they're just saying that because WWE is footing their bill, like WW Radio, like Busted Open. And then they can tune in tomorrow and see you and Ash, or you and Walter, or you and Nick, or whoever the team is going to be, talking up AEW. And Nick with his issues with the current TV product.
It doesn't make sense.
But being that dichotomy, that yin and that yang, that two sides of the coin, Harvey Dent style, to every watch along that we do. So I don't think it's going to affect us. Like I said, I think the people it's going to affect are the Wheezy Blondes, the mini portables. People like that have thousands of people that watch their watch alongs. You know, that click on their reels and see them reacting to the part of the match on their shorts. That's who I think it's going to affect. I'm here for it, though. You know, personally, there's certain matches where I would want to watch Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, or Corey Graves and Joe Tessitore, or whoever. But I'm telling you right now, for Baron Corbin and Trick Williams, I'd rather listen to Booker T and Vic Joseph. Because can't nobody put over Trick Williams on commentary the way Booker does. You know, so just saying.
No, I mean, that's fair. To everyone, their own. And much like what you watch, you have a right to choose what you listen to. For me,
And we appreciate that, Safet, you know.
Yeah.
We give you a hard time all the time because you never super chat or donate, but we do appreciate the fact that we entertain you. And, you know, like I've said before, I understand you don't have a credit card, but go buy a Visa gift card. You can use that to super chat.
I mean, that's fair.
Use human monies to buy that.
Human monies.
And then you can use that gift card to super chat and donate to us if you don't have a credit card. Hey, Danhausen, I watched Danhausen try to buy CM Punk's championship for 300 human monies.
JJ, you know who else has human monies?
I do. Look, see? I got human monies.
Human monies! No. There's somebody
It's
else.
a beautiful thing to have human monies.
I roll in plastic, but that's a different conversation. What is it,
I mean,
Nick?
I have plastic too, but you know, sometimes you want to keep a little bit of cash. Uber has this thing now where passengers can pay cash for the ride,
Oh, that's nice.
which means that you end up usually getting a little bit more because I tell people I don't have change. More often than not, I don't. So, you know, if the ride is $12, they give you 15. If it's $17, they give you 20, you know?
I get it. I get it. Anyway, Nick, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yes.
Well, my thought was there's only one person I know other than Danhausen who has human monies. And me and JJ both know this person.
Who would that be?
Well, it'd be the one person we all know. You know, you say his name and he appears. It has to be Joe Hendry.
I thought he...
You know who else has human monies, Nick?
Chase U?
Well, yes, they do.
No, they don't. They're dead.
But you know who else has human monies, Nick?
No. Who?
Pro Wrestling Symphony, because they've gotten at least 300 human monies from us.
Oh,
sponsoring matches and shit.
That's hey man. Love us.
And we love from Pro Wrestling Symphony. August 8th, go check them out, Eastside Bowl. Stat Boy may be there too. You can meet Stat Boy.
Cheap plug.
We love Connor, Rory, and Pat. We love them all. We just need to hurry up and fucking
whoever
get
Corey
Colby.
is, because Corey messaged me this most
Connor,
recent
sorry,
time.
Connor. I don't know why I had Corey Hayes in my head. Botch. We need Colby on the show though. Hurry up. God
I know
damn it.
Colby.
God damn it, Colby.
Had the tag champs. We're getting the women's champ, even though it's a return visit. Need to get their
We need to get
main
the world
man.
champ.
We need to get Colby.
You need to get the world
But
champ.
anyways.
Yes. That was a cheap plug.
No, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this though, Noah, and then we'll go to Nick to finish it out. Since you are the lead voice of this brand, I'm curious to know your thoughts on WWE radio, and do you think it'll affect us, or do you think I'm kind of onto something here and we'll be virtually unfazed? And hell, we may see an uptick because people like Safet may come over to watch us because we're not corporate shills.
All right. First off, I can't tell you how many times.
We love you, Ash. We'll see you when you get here. Get home safe.
Yeah, seriously, focus priorities, all right? Your safety is number one priority. That being said, this is not number one priority for me. But I will say this. I can't tell you how many times between family, you yahoos, and every Lyft and Uber driver I'm with or anybody I've communicated with think that I should be in radio or should be freaking public speaking. That being said, I'm just the voice that just has his own outlook on all things in life, and apparently people listen to it. For me, I think you're on point. I don't think it affects us because at the end of the day, radio is its own market of communication. This is just a dedicated market for WWE content that you listen to already on a regular basis, whether Spotify, you watch the actual video and subtle body movement on YouTube. It's literally all their podcast forums basically on this channel with Stephanie McMahon and Cody Rhodes and Undertaker and Not Sam and the other bald idiot and some other stuff. I don't think it's going to affect us at all because at the end of the day, we're our own outlet and we're not corporately invested by anybody. We are individually invested ourselves into our outlook on this business for everybody for the cost of nothing. Donations are encouraged, hence in point, Superchatted, PayPal, simple as that, to further enhance conversation or to further engage our audience. That's what we're all about here. It's a free form platform for us to engage as a positive, open-minded, authentic, 100% unscripted, unapologetic outlook on everybody in this wrestling business with the biggest of opinions across our entire internet family. F the original name of whatever you call the dadgum community as a whole because it is toxic more than Britney Spears was during her last prenup. Damn it. And I said what I said. But nonetheless, we are our own individual entity that is getting a grasp on the wrestling business, standing up for the small players, the little guys, the individuals that just wanted a forum where they knew that they were going to get something different, something raw, something original, something with real straight talk. I don't think it affects us at all. At the end of the day, the only one it affects right now is those that might be trying to get involved in radio to cover WWE content or want to put their voice out there on a freelance radio platform for WWE content, and now WWE's like, pay us or you can't. Oh, you're not under our umbrella, you can't. Now, whether or not to start a new program for the next great podcasters or radio correspondents, because at some point you got to figure out who the hell's going to replace Michael Cole. I don't think that's going to affect us either. I don't see that happening. And no, as much as you all say, get this man a contract. I don't need to work for any company. I work for a multi-billion-dollar nonprofit in IT, and I am very, very happy. Thank you. So no, I don't think it affects this at all. At the end of the day, if it does allow more people to engage in what the frick this crazy what professional wrestling is, even under the realm of sports entertainment, by just their ears versus their vision, then I'm all for it because I hope for nothing more with anything that is out there adding to the wrestling forums that brings more fans to the product, but they also learn there's more than one company. Unaffected. Now, that being said, you got my opinion. Now let's go down and get the voice of the Canadian. Nick, do you all even have Sirius XM actually up there? Because I know Canada's different with all their sports networks and everything. I imagine Sirius XM is universally accessible like Netflix across like radio because it's an app. But what are your thoughts on W Radio? How does this affect the Canadian radio waves?
It doesn't affect the Canadian radio waves at all. I mean, we
Good on
have
you.
we have Sirius XM out here, but it's a paid subscription. And I don't really know. Like I don't have it, and the only time I would even use it, um, is if I got like a 4-month free trial from
the 4-month free trial.
Yeah, like I wouldn't pay for Sirius. So for me it doesn't matter. What I will say, and I mean we have to call a spade here. It's like you said, this is a business. They want to control the narrative on a lot of their on their product, right? And I mean,
It's just another way they're trying to take over the world. Everything will be WWE.
Yeah, in a way,
Climbing
right?
to the moon. If that happens, continue.
In a way, they are right. They want. Let's call it a spade a spade. WWE is mainstream, whether you like it or not. They're on ESPN. They're on Sports Center. They're doing things with the Knicks and with this sport team, and they're hugging and kissing babies, and they're at UFC events. AEW like the AEW stars do that to a degree, but they're not there. They don't, and I don't think AEW will ever be there. And that. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, and they're trying to they're trying to be in all aspects of mainstream media, and I don't blame them. I hope. I mean, it just means that unfortunately, with the news came out about Thunder Rosa and her no longer being a part of Busted Open. They're not going to be talking about AEW. They're all Busted Open is no more. But it's true, right? They're not going to be. When I remember Busted Open, I remember them talking about all wrestling. I remember when somebody like a Ricky Starks went on that show to get noticed, and Tony Khan noticed him, right? It was a show that everybody was allowed to be on, and unfortunately now it's a business, and now it's going to be WWE centric and only WWE. They're not going to be talking about AEW. So I mean, that's just another avenue where AEW is taken away from somewhere, right? And it's unfortunate. This just means now that Tony has to be creative, and not saying he needs to start his own fucking radio show, because we don't need that.
They had them restricted for great seasons, but that's over. Rip.
Well, no, they still do their close up and what have you.
Yeah, Renee Paquette does a great job. I do enjoy those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'll give you that.
But I'm saying, to put their name in the mainstream media, it's just gotten harder for them, and they're gonna have to figure out how to do that. But at the end of the day, WWE is a business, and they're making business moves, and you can't hate them. You can't hate them for it. You can be upset at the decision of it, because that was, at the end of the day, that was a decision that was a Dave LaGreca decision. He's behind Busted Open. He could have easily said no, but at the end of the day, it's a business. He made a business move. They've all made business moves, and hopefully, they're not gonna. I don't see them being. And people's worries about this was that Dave and that show and that channel are just not going to be authentic anymore. That's what a lot of people worry about. And like you guys said, does this mean that we get affected from it, or the smaller people? I agree. I don't think that a channel like us or the Greg Cherry Show or the No EQ or anybody who does reviews and stuff like that, I don't think they're going to be affected by this. I really don't think anybody's going to be affected by like the content creators in that aspect. I don't think any of them are going to get affected because again, WWE wants it to be in the minds and in the mouths of people. So I mean, the more eyes that they get on their product, the better. So I don't see them worrying about this. But yeah, just in a roundabout way, it's fucking business. Good on them. Just means Tony has to get creative, but can't fault them for doing it. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully they stay genuine. I don't see them being genuine. I see them critiquing the product in a certain way that even if it is shit as all shit can be, they're still gonna fucking eat it up and glaze it to being this great thing. So, the time for authentic takes is supporting local and smaller channels like us, where we're going to give you our authentic takes. And if you don't like it, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
Yeah, but I'll close it kindly on your ass, because that is kind of the goodness that's left in me, despite the fact how much you all have influenced me in certain ways that I don't know whether I ever needed. But also, with that being said, there's a reason why we no longer get the articles in ESPN from that critic that gave WrestleLoser the grade that he did. But nonetheless,
Andreas Hill. I don't know if you guys. Well, speaking of him, I don't know if you knew, but he actually got laid off from ESPN.
Damn.
He is not a part of ESPN anymore. So take that as you will.
Yeah, maybe he'll start his own individual thing on Podbean. I don't know, but if there was ever a day for the independent artists, the independent coverers, the independent individuals to rise up, to speak their mind, and create a form of their own, this is it. Despite what YouTube might be monetized for the most part and try to control most of your content and probably put you into an ad break when you least expect it, now's your chance, folks. Become one of your own. Truly showcase yourself. Let your opinion be known. But also, just be constructive. And as far as your internet etiquette, be civil. That's all I got to say about that.
No,
at the end of the day.
And you're right. Like, I just hope people nowadays, again, the smaller, don't lose sight. Be as critical as you need to be. If a product is shit, the product is shit. Like, don't be scared to that's when us as a channel and other channels lose their credibility, when you have people actively praising garbage, you know what I mean, to get a paycheck. I just hope that YouTube channels, other ones out there, and we know a lot of them, we could shout out a bunch of them. I just hope that nobody loses their authentic selves, and stay true to their values. And if they don't like something on television, don't be scared to say you don't like it, because you're afraid that you're going to get chastised for it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And also, you also don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be the smartest. Sometimes you're the dumbest. But that being said, thank you, Nick. And thank you, JJ. And thank you, by the way, real quick, to Jeff motherfucking Meacham. As always, appreciate him, the pioneer that really has led forward on the world of internet wrestling podcasting outside a name that people know in California. That's their story. All right. Well, we'll take a quick break here. And when we come back, it's open mic night. The crowd will get to dictate the conversation, because that's all I had. Unless JJ and Nick has anything else in their minds. So when we return, as the shenanigans continue, get your brains flowing, because we let you lead the conversation as the Saturday shenanigans continue. Stay tuned.
And now for a taste of things to come.
proceeds for $9,000.
That's what you're upset at.
You know, Frank Sinatra, Fly Me to the Moon is still a classic. Shout out to Old Blue Eyes. Oh, anyway. And as you see by that trailer here at the Cinema Studios, everything that we do, we truly encompass, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all the wrestling. And welcome back in here once again to the Shenanigans. I am your host impromptu for the evening, Seminole Foster, with the regular wrestling JJ Williams and one Canadian. But sometimes one Canadian is not enough because...
She's yours, she's mine. She's our Canadian friend. Ash.
All right, thank you for that little trope. All right. Hello, Ash. How are you this evening? Good to see you.
Oh my god, it was hella busy at work today, I tell you.
That's what happens when you work in Winnipeg.
World, well, that's what the corporate world does to you in general. Nick, be aware. Don't try anything. You know who you're dealing with. You're on the top row that has control. Then again, you have control too. That being said, Ash, good to see you though. As always, I always like to encourage pros with passion. You got to work an honest living to make an honest living. And whether you're salary or hourly, you just do your best with that greater opportunity. So, more power to you. That being said, we just got done talking about WWE radio and how it affects, of course, podcasters, but also could lead to the rise of independent communicators now, for all we know, or creators. So we'll see whether or not people take the chance, you know, flight or flight, you know how that goes. But that being said, pretty much we have reached the point now where it's an open forum, it's open conversation, it's open mic night, and as long as the chat doesn't really pose anything or super chat regarding something really critical here, it's just freelance. As again, I also want to thank people, by the way, who's been tuning in exclusively at Batty for Wrestling, subscribe today, and Cements Brand, as we've been rebooting what used to be called the Simple Session to our own Batty freelance conversation on about wrestling and anything. On the last episode, Ash, of course, played Name That Tune, did pretty well, knowing her video game knowledge. And stay tuned on the next episode where I will be the player on that and she will be the game meister. And we will see whether or not I am redeemed or I am embarrassed. Damn it. That being said, again, stay tuned for our coverage.
You know colors.
Bloody hell. Stay tuned again. We will be covering Redemption Live, and stay tuned for me and Papa Gino breaking it down on Predictions League Breakdown, Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we head into SummerSlam week. Further announcements to come exclusively at the Cements Brand, in conjunction with Civil Apple Studios and No DQ, as they had a No DQ. All right, well, everybody, we reached pretty much a point now where, again, not a whole lot has happened this week, but I do feel like that we could always draw something forward when it comes to our outlook, our taste, our insight or excite or lack thereof with hype when it comes to professional wrestling. So, Ash, first and foremost, I'm going to put you on the spot. Anything on your mind regarding wrestling? Did you look at Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kyle Newman or Uya Mariette from the G1 Climax? Have you looked into the Knockout Television Championship? Have you looked into anything since we last chat?
Nope.
Good girl.
I watched SmackDown though, and that was it.
Have you looked into your mailbox to get your shirt?
Oh, you mean like this shirt I'm wearing right now?
Ta-da! And
Looks
you
good
can
on
get that
you.
today at the Civil Apple Studios shop. Buy a shirt. Buy all the shirts. Buy all the shirts today. Do it.
That's
Do it
right.
now.
Link in the description.
You make sure of that, by the way, because I don't know if it's in the description by default. You need to update the default.
I think I watched like a little bit of SmackDown, and that was it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, SmackDown is kind of forgettable, as we kind of discussed earlier. When it comes to two main shows, Raw does seem to be the one that people more so remember, despite the fact there was no women on it, but all the exclusive segments were apparently on YouTube.
Because they promoted it on SmackDown. There was no room for women on Raw, but there was plenty of it on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Maybe the glamour. Blake Monroe will actually do something that will show me how sinister and glamorous she is. But stay tuned. We'll see more about that. Okay, fair enough.
I'm loving the heavy focus on Fatal Influence. I cannot wait until JC Jane becomes U.S. champion.
Yeah, we'll see if you're right. There's enough of a Fatal Influence across that mid-card division now that I see the glamour targeting Tiffany Stratton. But Tiffany Stratton's got a chance to become interim WWE Women's Champion, of course, with Charlotte Flair and Jade and Chelsea Green, the only one that matters in that match, by the way. And I think somebody else, but who cares? And as far as Fatal Influence,
Next week.
yeah, I mean, about to say Fatal Influence, will be involved now in trios action, or maybe you don't know. How you'll know? I know. Because I have to keep up with everything, because there's a reason why I'm called the voice of this crazy internet family. Fatal Influence will be taking on the returning Nikki Bella, and Brie Bella, and Paige in 6-woman tag team action at SummerSlam. It's a trios match. So we'll see what that leads to. Well, again, I know one person is particularly happy to see that Ferris Bella back in ring. Shout out to, of course, Mrs. Riff. Take care, Caitlin. But there's that. All right. That being said, JJ, of course, you know that the Knockouts Television Championship Tournament's still going. Your girl for your health has a chance, but she has to get through Indy Hartwell. And as we saw this past Thursday, due to a 10-minute drop, everyone's number one pick, Elena Black, got eliminated. Elena Black and Winnie Chu got eliminated due to a double draw. Maximum time of that match at 10 minutes. That meant M by Elegance freaking automatically advanced to the semifinals with a bye. And will be in action in the upcoming week. So, JJ, I got to ask you, what's next for Fia Hell outside this Knockouts tournament with or without winning?
Outside of this tournament, it looks like there's going to be a program on my NXT with my Chase University alumni and the last heart beating, as Natty and Thea have been going back and forth recently on NXT.
Your girl's asking for a death note.
Look, all I know is my girl is making sure my girl gets TV time, okay? So I ain't mad at all this. Like, Natty and Jada Parker have been doing their thing. But if you watch this week's episode of NXT, every segment, basically, there was some tying thread with Natty and Thea, going all the way to Jada Parker and Natty, and Jada Parker putting Natty in the sharpshooter, and Thea stealing the towel that had been taken from her by Fatal Influence and throwing the towel in, or excuse me, not Fatal Influence, but I don't know what Natty's calling her group right now, with Nikita Lyons and Carmen Petrovich. It's basically the new Fatal Influence now that Fatal Influence got called up. But Thea took the towel from Carmen that had been taken from Thea backstage and threw the towel in to give Jada the victory.
That's kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of funny.
The whole thread throughout the show was Natty, Thea, the towel, trying to get Thea to join Natty and her team. But it looks like as we progress with Heatwave on the horizon, we're probably going to build to Thea and Natty at Heatwave, and consider me seated for it. Because those are my girls.
In more ways than one. All right, fair enough. Nick, you were talking about redemption. You were talking about returns, debuts. You were talking about something being a pickup. There's been, my friends are basically Senior Pro Wrestling fans, and they know one, Kairi Hojo, formerly a daughter of Stardom. She's now officially free. And with the fact that Thekla has been targeting her previous promotion, Stardom, of course, that literally is where Kairi Hojo got really the upstart of her career. Do you think there's a chance that Kairi Hojo shows up at Redemption and confronts the Toxic Spider at any point during the night, or could it be some point down the line in the near future at AEW? What are your thoughts of Kairi Hojo maybe becoming All Elite?
So that's actually a really great segue, because I was gonna bring a question to the group. In regards to Kyrie, no, I would not want to see that match, because it just doesn't make any sense.
There's his praise.
It doesn't, and we're too close. Listen, I love it. I wish Kyrie all the success. The this will go into my question for the group. But
Go for it.
I'm sorry, we're too close to All In to bring in to start new feuds and stuff. I think Tekla unfortunately is gonna fall at Redemption.
I see.
And I do believe that Willow is walking into Redemption as the world champion. Now, what Tekla does, there's only really one, for me at least. There's one person that makes sense, and it's not Kyrie. And I don't know what her status is. But yeah, so we'll kind of go into that when we get to it. I'll let JJ kind of ask his question.
All right, fair enough. JJ, what you got a hand up for real quick?
How is it a new story, though, Nick, or a new feud when Thekla's whole thing has been going after Stardom?
Ding, ding.
And Kyrie, granted, she's transplanting in from WWE, but before Kyrie was in WWE, she made her name in Stardom, like Noah said. So if Kyrie gets involved and costs Thekla the match as revenge for Stardom, how is that a new feud when that's been part of the whole thing with Thekla for a minute?
Especially if that feud happens more often, or excuse me, happens more in Stardom directly, the company that Thekkla's been attacking, why she's only been attacking them while competing against their talent in AEW. I'd be fine seeing Kyrie Hojo versus Thekla in a Wonder World Star ring after the 5-star Grand Prix. And for those that don't know, we know that at least one-third of the Triangle Madness will be constantly involved in there because Julia Hart's in the 5-star Grand Prix taking Bea Priestley's spot.
So I would, the reason why I don't, so to answer JJ's question, I'd be more inclined to it if Kyrie was in Stardom and doing stuff in Stardom while, like, I get it, she was Stardom before WWE. I'm saying I don't want her to be an AEW superstar. I don't want Tony to sign her. I'd rather her go to Stardom and be a Stardom star and come over. Yeah, I don't want her to be like, I love her. She's probably great. I don't need Tony to sign her. Because I think there's other people that he needs to sign first. I don't want her. I rather her go to Stardom, be in Stardom a little bit. I feel like having her introduced in this, it would just be forced. I'm sure they can give us a good build. I want to know, because we haven't heard. Usually when this happens, when we don't hear anything on television about somebody, they're close to a return. We still don't know, and again, we're not here to speculate.
No.
Yes, we
still
are.
don't. Well, we are.
I mean, we can. That's conversation.
We're a fans podcast, and we're in an open mic forum right now.
Speculation is definitely part of the conversation at times. Maybe sometimes too much, but in this case,
So let's speculate. The last time, there's only one person I can see Tekla facing at All In to make it an All In match.
And what would that be?
Tony Storm. Where is Tony? What has happened to Tony?
She got bloody murdered.
Exactly. So I mean,
And Mina's given up on looking for the victim or the murderer, because I still think Mina did it.
like, we have to wrap this. Like, we don't know. It's never been reported.
Suspension of disbelief. It's an ongoing mystery.
You're right.
But mysteries do go cold sometimes.
So I wonder, like I can see if my thing is with this, and granted, if we get Kyrie versus Tekla at Wembley, I feel it'd be a downgrade. I feel like she would have been. I feel like she should have walked into Wembley as champion. I'm not convinced. I wish I was on the Simply Predicting on Thursday because I would have said the same thing. I'm
I
not
imagine you would
convinced.
have.
I'm not convinced Tekla's walking in as champion. I'm more on the end of Willow winning it, and it'd be Willow and Mercedes at All In. So I mean, if that is the case, what is Tekla doing at Wembley? The next best thing for that, I think, has to be Tekla versus Tony Storm, because then you can play off the fact that it was Tekla the one who killed Tony Storm, right? But I mean, we don't know what Tony's status is, so yeah, long-winded answer, but
As usual with you, but
And
that's all
isn't
right.
it ironic that we don't know Tony's status? You know,
we
and
don't.
we're gonna put on the tinfoil hat here a second. So forgive me, Noah, but if this was a WWE absence, we'd know all about it.
Oh
But
yeah.
certain journalists are keeping mum when it comes to AEW. But you know, we're not going to just call that out.
Like, I would love to know. Like, we don't know. I don't think I've seen Sean Ross Sapp report it. We can report. And again, this is not.
And we damn sure haven't heard anything from the North Cal
Here we
person
go.
who still hasn't rated Mercedes versus Maya World.
Here we go.
He's rated everything else. He's rated matches from Dynamite this week, but he still can't fucking rate that match.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't like. Let's
Just
let's
saying,
speculate.
tinfoil hat, but you know.
I mean, conspiracy theories abound. Tinfoil hats on galore. Flying saucers up in the
Where's
air.
Cliff even
crop
throw
circles
when we
at night.
need him?
Flexing his muscles in a boa scarf somewhere. Not on Saturday Night's Main Event. But anyway.
It's just it's amazing to me. It's amazing how we can report that Tay Mello wanted her release. We can report about fucking. We can have a 48-hour fucking neighborhood watch on Sammy Guevara's Twitter profile. We can have news on anything.
Top 5 answers on the board. Name something you hear more of besides Tony Storm's whereabouts. Good grief, Nick.
But like that's where is
Stop
Tony?
him when he's telling lies.
Where is Tony?
Well, if you follow all that, he's not lying.
So-
but I'm not on social media.
And I feel bad. And I feel bad for Tekla. If Tekla's not walking in All In as champion, the next biggest match that she can do is Tekla versus Tony. Mind you, she'd probably be on the losing end of that because, I mean, Tony's not going to come back and lose.
Bloody hell, she's not, especially
right
when she's going to probably be more noir than ever with her character. I'm just waiting to see what sort of cinematic introduction we get in full color or monochrome.
Yeah, so it's yes, there's a lot of things that are really
It's going to look like this, or it's going to look like this.
I love to see, and it's unfortunate. Tekla had a great run. I wish she would go in as a champion, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah. So to kind of switch gears a little bit, sorry, I wanted to ask you guys.
So full gear.
No,
well, we know that's official now, of course. In November, it will be in Phoenix, Arizona. But anyway, continue, Nick.
I love it how they haven't. I love it how they can announce Full Gear, but they haven't announced Wrestle Dream. Just saying. I wonder where Wrestle Dream is going to be this year.
And they haven't figured it out. Yeah, otherwise they would have announced it. You gotta get the booking right with the tourist committee and the venue. There's a lot of things that go into just saying.
If it's in Toronto, I can be like, "Hey, Dad, you want to go to your neck of the woods and watch AEW with me again because you had such a good time in the Winnipeg show?"
Well, you know it won't be the Scotiabank Arena. W now owns that as their MSG up there in Canada, but you might get the Rogers Center. But anyway, continue.
I mean, you know, I'm going to steal Nick's trope here for a second. May as well go to Toronto to see it because you know they're not coming to Winnipeg.
Right.
They ain't going to Winnipeg.
We ain't going to win the peg. Ain't none
No,
happening.
and they wouldn't do it at the Rogers.
And they're giving you Grand Slam freaking Montreal instead of Redemption. But anyways.
Yes.
Well, hindsight's 2020. We'll see what everyone thinks after the show is over. I don't expect your opinion to change. Me, though,
Listen,
I'm the optimistic guy that covers everything because I'm the guy that has to be first and foremost on the damn mic. Anyway,
Noah,
Nick, go ahead.
Noah, I love you. I love you. You know I love you. I love your takes. You're great. But if you're gonna tell me that this show is anything but, listen, I judge AEW television different than I do anything else. I judge it from the
Keyword
first
television.
show.
This is
from the
pay-per-view.
first show, but still from the first show out of the last pay-per-view till the pay-per-view. That's how I judge my.
I know you go through cycles.
And unfortunately, this card is a fucking. It's a glorified Dynamite show. I hate to tell you this, buddy. It really is. But anyways, that's besides the point.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we already covered that topic. Get back to where you were going here.
So my question is, this week, our new batches of free agents have come about. We have the new free agents this week.
Yes.
So there was, if anybody listened to it, and this is where I get scared. Tony went on the media call. I listened to a little bit of it. Apparently, the news is there are 7 talents waiting to be signed by AEW.
What?
Apparently, according to sources, and I forgot where I saw it. I think it was Fightful and SRS. There are 7 talents waiting to be signed by AEW. So I was gonna say I think we should, if that is the case, who of the free agents that are out there, who would be your 7?
I would probably need a list of all of them, considering, again, I don't read into dirt sheets news, and I just see what happens as it happens. Seeing is believing. Seeing is reality. That's real reality, not kayfabe reality that's produced by a director. But, again, we already said ad nauseum while we're covering Wednesday, right, folks? Considering 2 men, particularly, that could show and be part of the company with a tag team division. As far as others outside that, just trying to figure up names off the top of my head. We talked about Kyrie Kojo, but again, Sherry did return in Stardom for a stint. Her being part of AEW, though, I'm sure Mina would absolutely love that, because Mina, of course, can't wait to see what's next for Kyrie Kojo. Where will that motorcycle take her? Stay tuned. Might as well be cast for Blade Runner or a DLC for Cyberpunk 2077 in that outfit. As far as others, how many times, if I had a freaking A&W root beer, for how many times you have made some sort of joke about it's a new day, it's a new day, it's a new day, and they aren't free agents yet, but you're still on that freaking bandwagon.
I'm not good at math.
Well, you're dyscalculia versus dyslexic is what that is, all right? Yeah, big words, folks. Go get a dictionary. Learn how to say something. Words are harsh.
Thesaurus.
A thesaurus only helps you find similar words. I could give you 15 different words for a single word if I had to, but I'm not here to give a damn education lesson.
Did you miss my joke, Noah?
Yeah, probably did. Knowing me, most stuff goes over my head or I'm indifferent. Again, sports indifferent, wrestling invested. New quote. But anyway.
I'll repeat it so people can hear it. I said my favorite dinosaur is the thesaurus.
Okay, Google AI, was there actually a dinosaur with a similar name in Latin to thesaurus? Let me know in a few seconds. Thank you. I'm sure AI will be like, sorry, I didn't quite hear that. Anyway, thank you, Ash.
I'll run down the names of the following free agents as of July 23rd.
I'm going to go look up a list, too, just so I have it for everybody, because they ain't going to remember
that
jack crap.
Motor City Machine Guns are off the list, so they're now free agents. You had Aleister Black and Zelina. You had Bo Dallas, Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, the Wyatts. You had Zoe Stark. You had Santos Escobar. You had Kairi Sane, and you had Kaylee Ray.
Well, Kaylee Ray is already in Pro Wrestling Eve. Nikki Cross, aka Queen of the Galaxy, the best in the galaxy. Nikki Storm, she's back not only with her husband Damo, now they own Progress Wrestling. She's wrestling up and down Europe. In fact, she just showed a mixed tag team match recently in OTT. Yeah, for those that don't know, I don't watch WWE and AEW on a weekly basis, except Dynamite Live, and more often now, Dynamite I almost watch on DVR based on my work schedule now that I'm salary. I watch the two biggest companies domestically on highlights. My potpourri, as I basically discussed on Tuesday night with, of course, No DQ Review, is literally everything else. So that's how I know this type of stuff once in a while. But, yeah, continue.
Yeah,
so I do see your hand. Pause, Nick, because you're roundabout brain. Let's keep it in the same position. JJ, what you got to say real quick?
So, when it comes to who is Tony going to sign, I think it's a given he's getting the machine guns.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's 2 off the list. I think he's going to get Kaylee Ray. Partially because Isla Dawn is already there.
True.
You put the Unholy Union back together, you've got another team for the women's tag division.
I wouldn't mind seeing those two take on the Brawling Burrs now as you mention it.
So there's your third. Hot take, controversial take. I could almost see Alistair and Zelina. Like, I know that's controversial because of the way Malachi left.
Apparently.
But I think that if he comes back with Zelina and is given the freedom, now that he's not bound to the House of Black, I think he might get better results.
Okay, that's fair. I also want to point out that they do have a show coming up in Glasgow, Scotland, of course, on the road to All In, so you very well could see Kaylee Ray, much like Isla Dawn, I believe, made her Dark debut last year when they brought WWE Dark back. Man, I missed that show. I could see Kaylee Ray and Nikki Storm probably being a part of that show, honestly.
Then you got Kyrie, who will probably be dual contracted between AEW and Stardom.
That'd be interesting first for a woman.
And I think you'll get Santos Escobar, probably dual contracted between AEW and CMLL.
I didn't even think about Santos Escobar. Or
because I could see Santos getting thrown in there with Roosh, Beast Mortos.
Hijo del Fantasma. Okay. I mean, he did sign a ton of talent this year from CMLL to a contract, including Persephone. I cannot wait for her in Statlander.
I could even see him and Andrade doing something together.
How you know?
Don't make me put the gift back in there.
You brought up Andrade. You knew that was coming.
That's how you know.
No, that's how I know that Disney, once again, plagues everything that's good in my life and not for the better. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I threw that in there because I figured if anything, Ash would get a kick out of that joke.
Of course
you know what's also funny? This game I showed you, Color Brain, I have a Disney version of it.
We're not playing that.
I'm always down for a Disney game.
Ugh.
No, it's okay. I don't have any Disney questions in here for you, so
Good.
you're not going to worry about that.
Good deal. Less Disney, the better. Cartoon
No,
Network guy.
more Disney.
No, Cartoon Network guy, Nick Fan for life. No, less
Because I
Disney.
know once he was a wee lad, he watched the classics.
And then I found Nickelodeon Cartoon Network and never looked back. Anyway,
When Noble was a young warthog.
very
When
nice.
he was a young warthog.
Not copyright! Damn it! Not copyright! But anyway.
The biggest mind F for me was when I learned that Pumbaa was Leon Carosi from the Saved by the Bell Beach Club episodes.
The more you know, folks. And if you want to stay tuned for your own edition of Seen It, subscribe today to Constantine Studios, hosted by the regular wrestling AJ Williams.
Oh my god, I used to play Disney Scene It all the time with my cousins.
That was such a freaking.
Oh my god, there was one time where I kind of scared the crap out of my cousin because we had to play the silhouette game and I immediately knew it was Buzz Lightyear and I shouted out the answers super loud.
Oh, well, that would do it. It's almost like having Tourette's. You just say something out of "Arr!" to just surprise everybody, or you just literally stand there like a mute fool until you literally hear your name being yelled out, be like, "Johnny!" Freaking like Roderick Strong. But anyway, freaking Roderick Strong, best gimmick ever. I love that. Still hilarious. Catches
That
Renee
made-
and Lexi off guard.
That made Roderick Strong seem so interesting because I swear to God, if you look up vanilla in the dictionary, there's Roderick Strong.
Still, he breaks your back 200 different ways from Sunday, but nonetheless,
Still
fair
doesn't
enough.
make him any less boring.
Yeah. Well, you know, hindsight's 2020. People like vanilla ice cream about nothing.
There's nothing wrong with vanilla ice cream, but I'm just going to say this right now. Roderick Strong solo, boring AF. Roderick Strong,
He never was
Strong.
meant to be a solo act, to be fair, all right? He was never meant to be a solo
I was
act.
about to say that. Roderick Strong team and a tag team just works so well. He
It's
just
a point.
becomes interesting all of a sudden.
Conglomeration, it works.
And maybe it's just because I saw Roddy back in like 06 and 07.
Of course.
But I'm a big Roddy solo guy. Like, I can just sit there and you know how some people have an accent? Ash, I know you know this very well. And they'll say, oh, I could listen to that man read the phone book.
Yes.
Roddy is the type of worker that I could just watch him go hold for hold with somebody for like 90 minutes and not get tired.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because I saw him, you know, fucking 20 years ago.
And he's still going hard to this day, and so is his wife that tells everybody
Yeah.
to do better. She recently faced Suzuki. That was awesome.
You
At
know,
Warrior
it's just
Wrestling.
like it's one of those things where when you see the people you saw in the underground get their come up, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Fair
I can get where someone would find him bland and boring. But I'm the type of guy that could sit there and just watch him do, you know, chain wrestling for 90 minutes and be like, purdy.
Yeah, about to say, him and Kyle O'Reilly at Dynasty was one of my favorite matches of the night because it was a grappling clinic. That's right. And of course, your boy Zack Sabre Jr., Bloody King of Techers, he had a generational grappling clinic with strong style with Uya Amira, as Uya got the better of the front man, just to give you a little G1 update. And they put up for free the match of Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kyle Newman. So what does that tell you? So you can go look at that on YouTube, Ash.
Yeah.
And for anyone that's never seen NJPW, there's your chance. Anyway, but it is interesting that JJ brings up Underground, so I'll add this as a last little closer. Let's see how well Kendall Gray fights, because, believe it or not, there is at least 2% of things I care about in WWE. One is Lyra Valkyria. The other one is the best damn women's professional wrestler. Let me say that again. Women's professional wrestler. Potential for the future, and that has one Kendall Gray, the Xanadu Women's Champion. But it looks like her and Lola Vice aren't done with each other. But can Kendall Gray hold up in a fight? The next time the Xanadu Women's Championship is on the line will be Underground, as Kendall Gray goes one-on-one with the undefeated Lola Vice in NXT Underground for the NXT Women's Championship 1 week from Tuesday. That being said, I love that closing line. She says, you can go shake your ass in the back of the line once I'm done with you. Kendall Gray's showing me she got some attitude. And freaking Wen's face, priceless. I swear, that's the only thing that matters right now in WWE for me. There you go, one nice thing. That being said, we've been talking a lot about Lola Vice and, of course, her rise, her star power, her potential, her showcasing. Of course, AAA still AAA Mixed Tag Team Champion, a mainstay of NXT, and wait for her to be brought up to the main roster. I almost said a different word there. So is this literally going to be Lola Vice's swan song from the Black and Chrome? And will she stay strictly with AAA? Or will she go up to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown? Honestly, both brands could use her, I think, because they need some person with actual merit and identity. Just saying. JJ, it's your NXT, it's your former women's champion. You know Lola Vice, but you also kind of know Kendall Gray, so I'm going to put you on the spot first. Is this Lola Vice saying, adios and muchas gracias, or does she knock Kendall Gray the fuck out, and do we just reset the clock?
Spoiler alert here in 3, 2, 1. Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana lost the mixed tag titles tonight on AAA television. So now that she is titleless, I think she's losing to Kendall Gray and going to the main roster.
All right, Ash, do you agree with that predicament or prediction?
Yeah, it's possible. She can go up on the main roster because, god damn it, they could use some women, especially on the SmackDown side of things, for that U.S. title contention.
And Priest is on SmackDown as well, so you put the couple together.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were a couple. That's a good show.
I forgot Damian Priest was the tag team champion, by the way.
I mean, tag teams in WWE, what the heck is that? Not in the women's division, am I right?
I mean, they're trying.
He's a tag team champion?
Damn.
Who's he partnered with?
I rest my
Our
case,
truth.
Your Honor.
What?
It's
Yeah.
the Judgment Day. Truth and truth.
Oh, God.
We just broke Nick's brain.
I almost feel like he should go on camera so we can see his head exploding.
That would require effort. That would require effort. He's
That would-
done. He's
that
about to
would
shut down.
require effort and clothes, and I don't want to do neither.
Okay then, TMI. Well, that being said, Lola Vice, yeah, I hope you get not the F out. Kendall Gray to spearhead the NXT Women's Division to the next generation. Please, not if she loses that title. WWE, don't fuck this up. If you fuck this up, I'm gonna say fuck you. All right.
I mean,
Well,
I just think it makes sense. You know,
it does.
Lola is undefeated in the underground.
Mhm.
So if she loses, what is there to keep her in NXT? She just
Nothing.
lost her signature match.
Exactly.
I don't see them bringing it to the main roster.
Hell no.
If they were going to, it would have to open up any show that it's on.
I mean,
Because let's be real, at this point in her career, Lola Vice isn't going to main event a main roster show. So
I mean,
it would have to jerk the curtain on it.
Extreme Rules did have the fight pit as a semi-main in a bygone life. I'm just saying.
But, you know, she lost the mixed tag title. She lost the NXT title. She loses the rematch in her signature match. Main roster debut at SummerSlam, maybe?
If not the Raw afterwards or the SmackDown afterwards, because like you said, Ash, you ain't selling tickets with Timu Baddies. You'll be selling tickets with Lola Vice on your brand. All right.
Hey, I like the Timu Baddies. Thank you very much. Okay.
Good for you.
The only one I'm still meant on is BFAB. She's still, no matter what she does, she has not sold me. But you know how much I love that bitch. And Mia Yim, yes, please. I refuse to call her Meechin. She said thank you. Keep calling me Mia Yim. So I'm going to keep calling her Mia Yim because that's what she wants.
Show me what Mia Yim was prior to WWE, and maybe I'll call her that name again. That being said, thank you, JJ. Thank you, Ash. And thank you, Nick. Sorry that we broke your brain. But also thank you all for tuning in, because guess what? We're about to hit the fresh show before I bid y'all fine adieu. So we're going to chill and get the F out of here, too. Before we do that, we're going to run the trailer one more time, and then afterwards, the Saturday Shenanigans will conclude. Stay tuned.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And as always, here's that trailer shows you at the Super Labo Studios, which really encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all the wrestling. And welcome back here to the Shenanigans as we are about to conclude, and we bid you all fine adieu, but we also say thank you. Let's go around the horn and plug and promote upcoming content and showcase to the people where they can find us if they choose. First and foremost, Nick, you stand on Avatar, but you lend your voice quite a lot here tonight. Always appreciate you. Shout out to Mrs. Tell where the people can find you, of course, and then you can go to sleep.
Yes, just again, shout out if you are in the middle of watching all of your lovely wrestling this upcoming weekend. Again, check out Danny and the boys from NHB next weekend for NHB 100. It's going to be a slobber knocker of a show. Excited to watch it. Oh, yeah. All the bleeding assholes you can get. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter. That's in the thing underneath my name. Follow, subscribe. Yeah. Yep, there. Flash.
There it
Yeah,
goes.
that thing at the bottom there and the white.
Yeah, that thing, that JJ click.
That thing.
The thing shows you the thing you need to go to. That's the thing, folks. All right.
Exactly. That thing.
Yes, that thing. Not to be confused with That Girl, a bygone show from the 1960s. Thank you, Nick. Continue to
That
be
thing
that
you
thing.
do?
Better than others or only like himself versus others. Who knows? Thank you, Nick. Take care. Shout out to the missus. Go get some sleep. Bye-bye. All right. Ash, always a pleasure. I know, of course, we'll talk behind closed quarters of our next simple session, and also next time we will update people on G1 Climax. But go ahead and tell where the people can find you and your baddie takes too. Appreciate you.
Thank you. You can find me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter at ShadowBadAsh. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Baddie for Wrestling. Right now I'm in the middle of a game called Can Your Baddie Friend Catch Up on the G1 Before It's Too Late?
You got time, but time is limited.
All signs point to no.
Damn, JJ, zero confidence.
Wrong.
Okay.
Like how many times have you...
I love Ash, but if I've learned anything about her, it's that she's busier than both of us.
Accurate.
So.
And happy belated birthday to Zack Sabre Jr., by the way.
Yes.
Dickhead.
Happy birthday to him.
All right. Thank you, Ash. Continue to stay batty. And
Also,
again,
his birthday was the same day as my uncle's.
oh, well,
God rest
happy
his
belated birthday.
soul.
God rest his soul. Happy belated birthday to your uncle and anyone else that celebrates on that day as well. And I
buy
look
her
forward.
t-shirts.
Yes, and again, if you haven't already, invest in the bat, invest in Above Studios, buy that shirt, buy all the merch. Simple as that. I'll see you for the simple session later this week. All right, JJ, Chief Brand Ambassador, social media guru, and all-around friend, renegade of wrestling too. Let's go ahead and get for you. First and foremost, always appreciate you. Happy to lend my voice and lend what you have given me in the proverbial hosting position. Where can the people engage and find you? And what are we up to?
Well, of course, you can find me at all the lovely Chase U alumni. Instagram, The Renegade, JJ Williams. YouTube, Casa D18 Studios. X Casa D18 Studio. No S at the end. Make sure you're following the Simply Reliable Studios on X at SR Studios 2024. That is where you will find all of our big announcements. It was confirmed this Thursday, and we touched on it a little bit here, but we will be having our first wrestler two-time guest coming up this week as the new Pro Wrestling Symphony Women's Champion.
And
the
Spar
conduit,
champion. Continue.
the conduit of karma, Kaya McKenna, will be joining us once again. It's good to have her come back for another round as we will be sponsoring her upcoming match at Pro Wrestling Symphony No Remorse against Sigrid. We also got confirmed, no date yet, working on, but got confirmed that we will be having another two-time guest returning to the program. This woman works for a alternative music icon. She is, it's hard to call her by her gimmick name anymore now that she is the world champion. You almost would think it would require an upgrade, but the current reigning, defending holder of the Burke, Stephanie Nieves, will be returning to the Shenanigans some point in August.
She beat Natalia Markova.
Love it. Love it.
With essentially a Money in the Bank cash-in. They had what they called the Burke Bouquet, I think, where it was like a battle royal to get
Correct.
a spot whenever you wanted it.
Correct.
And Greta, her heavy, attacked Natalia. Tiffany came out with her bouquet, gave the bouquet to the referee, dropped a single red rose on Natalia, put her foot on her. 1, 2, 3.
Rip. Wow.
Without even breaking a sweat.
Wow.
She got the better of her longtime rival, who we actually, you can go into the archives, we actually called the steel cage match between Tiffany and Natalia Markova.
Mm-hmm.
So cool getting to interview her in the past. That interview is in the archives as well. That was a one-on-one with her and I.
I remember that.
This is going to be more people involved. Walter definitely is going to be involved in that.
He better be.
Nick, I know, is a little bit shocked. I mean, you can tell he came on camera. We can only see his nose and eyes, but like he came on camera for that announcement. So
He pulled his best Wilson from Home Improvement.
Well, I mean,
I understand that reference.
I've never. I mean, you guys interviewed Nieves before I came on the cruise. So I mean, the fact that she's a two-timer and I get to be there is gonna be pretty cool.
She was the first interview of the Simply Reliable Studios era.
Yeah. Inaugural guest.
We had interviewed Gino Rivera, but that was under the Multiversa Media. That was under open mic night. La Princesa was the first interview of the SRS era.
Yep.
So in a lot of ways, without her, none of these others would have happened.
She's the one. Yep.
So
she's the spark.
Looking forward to having her come back. You know, hit her up pretty much as soon as she won. That just goes to show how busy she is. I hit her up when she won the title. She got back to me this week.
Respect.
That's crazy.
Which is almost like 2 months later.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick, I would recommend you go back, watch the archived interview, just so you don't ask duplicate questions.
Okay.
In the words of Vince Russo, do your homework, bro.
I was waiting for that.
All right. I didn't do great in school. I never did my homework. What I do want to know, I mean, because the weekend is upon us, and I don't won't ask you till next week. Do we have any big plans for August and All In?
Not yet, no.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know.
We have a lot of stuff to get through before that.
Yeah,
It
live in the
is true.
present.
We
Live
have
the
next
present.
week SummerSlam weekend. There's at least 3 days in August where I may be away from all of this. So I'm sorry, Noah, in advance. At least 2 of those are Shenanigans nights. So
Do what I do.
if I'm able to come in via late, so be it. If not, well, I know you and the crew will have things handled.
I do my best.
That's the great thing about this team is that we've got enough hands now that if I have to step away, I'm sure people out there watching notice Walter isn't here tonight, but he's been in the chat. If someone needs to step away for a night or a couple of nights, we got things covered.
Take a PTO day if you feel like, folks. Your mental health matters. All right, JJ.
Well, considering no one here gets paid, kind of hard to call it a PTO day, but
you know what I mean.
A mental break is always a good thing, and taking time for yourself.
Dang.
Even if it's not a mental break, just because there's something you want to do.
Exactly. Personal time off, by the way, but I
Yeah.
do see why you said that. All right.
Whether
continue,
it's live wrestling in Toronto, Winnipeg, Montreal, find a way to get there and enjoy it. I know Nick is going to Greektown Wrestling in the middle of August.
There you go.
Yes, yes. That is
Gonna
going to
go
be
see the
a
Babushka Baron, Jeffrey John. Go check out the archives and see the interview we did with him this past week, almost 2 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Greektown should be fun. Yeah, the indies are thriving. Support the indies.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
If you
Preach.
can't find anything on TV to enjoy, search out your local independent and give them the money instead.
Simple as that.
Yes.
All right.
Especially like I said, and I mean, if the producers of the show can clip this, getting shows like NHB next weekend, a lot of people put their heart and soul into cards and shows on the independents. So go support them because I know that if we don't do a watch along, for example, of NHB, I'm definitely going to be watching and live tweeting. So yeah, go support your local indies.
Respect. All right. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, JJ. And again, this is the money you should be spending on independent wrestling and not on the big two if you are underwhelmed as a fan. Simply Reliable Studios endorses this message and reminds you that 50 minutes or more could save you 15 minutes on boring TV product. All right.
And before you shill, since we mentioned Tiffany Nieves, let's go ahead and shout Walter out, who is 19 away from his goal. 19 subscribers to get to that 300 mark, and he has until SummerSlam Sunday to do it.
You can do
Rage of Wrestling on YouTube, Walter.Cruz.940 on Instagram, Walter Alex Cruz on the X.
Mm-hmm.
Endorsed by La Princesa herself. Get it? Got it? Bueno.
Muy bien, muchas gracias. And again, congratulations to the new NWA World Women's Champion, Tiffany Nieves. And just because I followed her in the independent scene, congrats to Nikki Blackheart under her new name, which I don't know because, again, W names, LOL. On her
Reina Vulcan.
Reina Vulcan, good grief. Thank you, JJ. At least someone follows NXT more than me. Here this is NXT. Reina Vulcan, our recent ring debut on NXT. Again, support those that you follow in this business to those other stages, even if you don't necessarily invest in those stages on a regular basis. Like I said, there's a reason why I still look at everything, but nowadays my business is potpourri in wrestling, highlights domestically, and then wrestling is put off to the side for rest, family, mentality, gaming, and working. Simple as that. Thank you, JJ, and thank you, everybody. Again, folks, I want to remind you all here, we are the Super Reliable Studios. You saw the X account earlier. That's the mothership, if you will. If you haven't already, follow us there today. If you want to further engage with me, find me if you choose, and Foster 1916 on the X or on YouTube. For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! And again, you always could find me hosting, moderating, participating, collaborating in and out of No DQ, as well as the Super Reliable Studios across the Superman's brand, whether it's the Shenanigans, whether it's predictions, or whether it's some other watch-along content or other forum like Predictions League Breakdown. Just find me if you choose, and again, get your predictions in for Redemption. You will find it on my YouTube. You'll find my social media. You have till 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live Sunday night. And we will be going live 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned for our watch-along alternative commentary coverage of that, as we ought to be that blind conduit towards all the biggest shows, PLE specials, pay-per-views across all the biggest brands and all things professional wrestling. And speaking of all things, gotta talk about All in the Family. And yes, I know that's a sitcom reference. I used to watch sitcoms in a bygone life. Shout out to the Mighty Morphin Pink Power Ranger Dattila. Follow her at Rangers of Wrestling when it's wrestling time, or follow Dattila on the X. And more importantly, follow her new venture at Pop Culture Powerbomb today on the X as well for all the Mighty Morphin content, anime, and references you can handle, as apparently she's still trying to write a song about me. I don't need that. But thank you anyway. He was in the chat, so I will give him a shout out. So shout out to one half of the MVPs, the VIPs of my dignity and biggest expenses. Of course, Dominguez. Follow Emmanuel and Arlene Dominguez today. There you see them on the X and on Instagram. Arlene, keep doing the Lord's work, saving lives each day. Emmanuel, don't be an idiot. And again, I thank all of you for tuning in. As I said, we got Redemption. We got Predictions League Breakdown Monday night, 6 p.m. Standard Time with me and Papagino. Follow Papagino Never Today, Papagino 0017. And then we go into SummerSlam week, whereas right now, Sleep Predicting is penciled in for SummerSlam, a one-night stand-out, all matches predicted festivity that will be 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday night across the Super Reliable Studios outlets. Of course, we'll have our watch-alongs and our weekend concluding shenanigans after the 2 days conclude. And as we also talked about earlier, Wednesday night, you can stay tuned for our watch-along video dynamite where we look at the fallout from Redemption. And again, stay tuned as the Conrad Kama returns center stage to the Studios, gracing us with her presence in time. Once again here, shout out to Kai McKenna. And again, congratulations to her on also becoming the Spark Joshi Pacific Champion, beating Erica Demina, who now we evolve as a WWE superstar. Good luck to everyone's favorite superhero BFF. I guess that's what she's called. And that's really all I gotta say for now, as I only want to remind you that there are no winners, no losers, no betters, just fans of opinions with this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your family, and gesture of life. And for professional wrestling, it is truly as simple as that. And stay tuned for the next simple session with the back. With that being said, thank you so much once again for tuning in here at Super Studios, in and out of YouTube, or on the X. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell for live demand on any of the outlets here across the Super Reliable Studios, and hit the subscribe button. I assure you, the content, the passion, the creativity, the shenanigans, the tomfoolery that I have to deal with is not going to let up anytime soon. What will let up, though, finally, is this forum and my voice. As I bid you all now, in Kenny Omega fashion, a fine adieu. For the regular wrestling, JJ Williams, for Nick and the missus, for Ash, for Walter in the chat, for all of you that continue to allow this to persist and perpetuate and pursue. I am the Samendo Foster, reminding all of you to make a positive impact in life. Have a good night, and thank you once again for tuning in to another rousing edition of the Saturday Shenanigans. Have a good night, folks, and we will see you in less than 24 hours for AEW Redemption. Have a good one, folks.